Rasheeda was overwhelmed after her friend Karlie Redd's shocking decision to release old, personal videos of her husband Kirk. Her world felt shattered, and the betrayal hit her hard. As soon as the news broke, social media erupted. While some people offered support and comfort, others were entertained by the drama, making fun of her pain or mocking her. Rasheeda felt she was drowning in judgment, struggling to keep her head above water. Sitting on the edge of her bed, her phone buzzing nonstop, every notification seemed to add to the chaos around her. Each message and comment she saw online felt like a fresh reminder of the storm her life had suddenly become. With tears streaming down her face, Rasheeda wrestled with the betrayal. It wasn't just about the videos going public, it was the loss of trust. She couldn't believe that something so private was now out there for everyone to see, leaving her heartbreak exposed. It felt like a heavy weight was pressing on her, making it hard to breathe. "What kind of friend would do this?" she cried out, her voice thick with emotion. She was genuinely hurt and confused, searching for answers. Her family and friends tried to comfort her, but the pain was too deep to be easily soothed. Their support helped a little, but it couldn't erase the hurt or betrayal. As she tried to make sense of it all, memories of her life with Kirk flooded her mind: the laughter, the dreams, the love they'd shared, all the moments that once felt so strong.
Now those precious memories felt stained by public humiliation and betrayal. Her heart ached as she thought about the years she had invested in their relationship, standing by Kirk through every trial. Now it felt like all of that had been torn apart. She couldn't stop thinking about the things people were saying on social media, where strangers were picking apart her marriage. "They'll never understand what I've been through," she whispered, hurt by the harsh opinions online. Seeing people dissect her relationship and criticize her choices felt like public shaming. Those leaked videos weren't just moments from her past, they were a deeply personal part of her life that should have stayed private. Instead, they had become gossip material, turning her life into a spectacle.
Rasheeda was overwhelmed, her mind cycling through waves of anger, sadness, and confusion. Everything felt unreal, like she was in a reality TV show, and every moment of her pain was on display for an audience to judge and criticize. It felt humiliating to think that strangers were watching her life fall apart, dissecting her emotions, and passing judgments on a situation they could never truly understand. Rasheeda had spent years fighting for her relationship with Kirk, standing by him even when others criticized, defending him through difficult times, and ignoring gossip that aimed to tear them apart. The betrayal now felt even more painful because of the sacrifices she had made to keep their relationship alive. "I fought for you," she managed to say, her voice breaking with a mix of sorrow and frustration. She had invested so much of herself into their relationship, enduring challenges and remaining loyal even when others doubted him. Now, after all she had given, she was left to face the fallout of his actions alone. Adding to her pain was Karlie's decision to make private videos public, exposing parts of her life she thought were safe. It felt like a double betrayal, not only from Kirk, the person she loved, but also from Karlie, someone she had once trusted. The hurt wasn't only from Kirk's betrayal but also from the memories and trust that had been shattered. Those videos weren't just clips, they were pieces of a past she shared with him, a time when their love felt solid and unbreakable. Now they were being used to mock her, stripping her of her dignity and shattering the security she had once felt with Kirk. The betrayal was a stab not only from Kirk but also from Karlie, a friend she had trusted. She felt twisted inside, questioning how someone she called a friend could treat her this way, leaving her exposed, hurt, and humiliated. As she sat there, tears flowed freely. Her anger mixed with sadness, her love for Kirk clashed with the need to protect herself, and her trust in friendship was shattered. It felt like she was trapped in an endless loop of loyalty and heartbreak, unsure of how to move forward. Her mind drifted to the moments she'd shared with Kirk: the laughter, the love, the dreams they had planned together. But now, all of that seemed to crumble under the weight of public shame and personal betrayal. "I can't believe this is happening," she whispered, barely audibly, as if saying it out loud might help her come to terms with the situation. The person she had thought would always be by her side had let her down, and the friend she once trusted had exposed her private pain to the world. Rasheeda felt torn, caught between memories of the life she thought she had and the harsh reality she was now facing. In the days that followed, Rasheeda tried to keep herself busy. She thought maybe if she could focus on other things, she might find some temporary escape from the heartbreak. But no matter what she did, the pain lingered, hiding in the corners of her mind and catching her off guard. She knew that at some point she would have to confront Kirk, demand answers, and seek some kind of closure. But for now, she was just trying to survive each day, holding herself together and hoping she wouldn't be swallowed up by the sadness weighing down her spirit. Everywhere she went, she was reminded of the betrayal. She couldn't escape the images, the comments, or the endless rumors about her relationship. It felt as if everyone was watching her life unravel, eagerly awaiting the next dramatic twist. She realized that no one could truly understand the depth of her pain or the sense of loss and betrayal that had become constant companions. Friends tried to comfort her, but no amount of reassurance could fill the hole left by Kirk's and Karlie's betrayal. Rasheeda didn't know what her future with Kirk would look like, but she knew that she couldn't continue living in this painful cycle. One day she would find the strength to face the situation head-on, make the decisions that were right for her, and begin the long process of healing. For now, she was allowing herself to feel the pain, to grieve, and to remember that she deserved respect and love. Though the betrayal had left deep scars, she was determined not to let it break her. She held on to a glimmer of hope that one day she would find peace, reclaim her dignity, and regain control over her life. Her heart raced, and she felt like the walls around her were closing in, suffocating her with the weight of all that had happened. She was trapped and overwhelmed, struggling to make sense of the chaos that had taken over her life. Friends surrounded her, offering gentle words of encouragement, trying to remind her of her own strength. "You're stronger than this," they told her, though their words barely registered as she remained lost in a whirlwind of emotions, questioning everything she once believed to be true. Was this the breaking point? Could she ever find it within herself to forgive Kirk after all that had happened? In these difficult moments, Rasheeda felt a profound sense of loneliness, as if no one could truly understand the depths of her sorrow. She knew that others saw her pain, but they couldn't feel it in the way she did. Every memory with Kirk that once brought her joy now brought a fresh wave of pain, as if each memory was tainted by betrayal. She thought about the countless nights they had spent dreaming of the future, the promises they made, the laughter they shared. But those memories felt hollow now, and she could no longer find comfort in them. As each day passed, Rasheeda wrestled with her conflicting emotions. She knew she couldn't live in this cycle forever. Eventually, she would have to confront Kirk, to look him in the eyes and seek the truth. She wanted answers, closure, and a way to start moving forward. But for now, she was focusing on getting through each day, allowing herself the time and space to heal, and trying to hold on to the parts of herself that hadn't been broken by betrayal. She knew that one day she would find the strength to rise above this, to rebuild her life on her own terms. For now, though, she was letting herself feel everything: the anger, the sadness, the confusion, believing that, in time, she would find a way to heal. Rasheeda was hurt, but she was also strong. Even in these darkest moments, she held on to the hope that one day, she would emerge from this stronger, wiser, and ready to live her life with the respect and love she deserved. The betrayal might have left deep wounds, but she was determined not to let it define her. And in that determination, she found the first glimmer of peace. Rasheeda sat quietly, a storm of emotions swirling inside her. Doubts had settled deep in her heart, each one a heavy weight pressing down on her, making it hard to breathe. The idea of a life without Kirk was terrifying. He had been her partner, her confidant, and the man she'd thought she would grow old with. Yet here she was, struggling with the feeling that their entire relationship might have been a lie. She felt exposed, as if every fear and insecurity she'd ever hidden was now on display, visible for the world to see. It was devastating, and she felt vulnerable in a way she never had before. Despite the heartbreak, there was a spark of resilience flickering somewhere inside her, urging her to keep going. Summoning her courage, Rasheeda turned on her camera. She wanted to speak openly, without any filters or masks. Her voice was shaky, her hands trembling, but she knew she had to get her feelings out. "I deserve better," she said, almost as if she was reminding herself of her own worth. It was a small but powerful moment, a reminder to herself and anyone watching that she was strong and valuable. She didn't need Kirk or anyone else to determine her worth. This pain was hers, but it didn't have to define her. She realized she could take control of her own story. As Rasheeda began to process her feelings, she came to see this crisis as a potential turning point. Yes, the betrayal was excruciating, and the hurt ran deep, but maybe this was a chance for her to grow and become stronger. To do that, she had to take control of her life. She couldn't let her future be shaped by Kirk's choices or by the pain he'd caused her. Rasheeda resolved that, regardless of what happened, she would rise above this moment. She wasn't sure if she would rebuild her life with Kirk or walk a new path alone, but she knew she wanted to emerge from this stronger and more empowered. In the days that followed, Rasheeda's emotions were all over the place. Some days the sadness was overwhelming, but she found comfort in the support of her friends and family. They rallied around her, reminding her of her worth and reinforcing her belief that she could get through this. She began to imagine a future where she could take this heartbreak and turn it into something meaningful, something that made her stronger. "I'll turn this pain into something powerful," she said to herself, feeling a glimmer of hope. For the first time, she began to see a way forward. Gradually, Rasheeda started to rebuild her life, one small step at a time. She looked for new opportunities and rediscovered passions she had long set aside. With each passing day, she felt a renewed sense of purpose. The pain had taught her some hard truths about love, trust, and respect, and she was determined to put herself first. She realized she no longer wanted to be a secondary character in her own life. She was ready to be the main character, to take control and shape her own destiny. One evening, as Rasheeda paced the living room, her mind was filled with memories of Kirk and the love they once shared. But those memories were tainted by betrayal now, whispers of an affair that felt like a knife to her heart. She needed to confront Kirk, to understand the truth, and to decide what her next steps would be. She took a deep breath, preparing herself for the conversation she had been dreading.